No, where's the picture? Ah, there we go. Sorry, technical difficulties. I think the picture should be showing up now. We'll see when we get to editing and things like that. And by we, I mean I, because I'm the one who does the editing.
To do something.
Other than, create the podcast and... I didn't do show notes last time.
I know.
Didn't feel like it. Anyway, hi, and welcome to what is currently known as Nurses Needles Podcast. That name will be changing sometime this or next month. So please put in your suggestions. We'd really like to hear them. We have some semi-favorites right now. We don't want to choose favorites until the actual day of choosing.
We didn't want to rush it today.
Yes. So please keep putting in your suggestions. We'd really like to hear them. But today is Sunday, October 28th. It is quite cloudy out, although it has not started raining yet.
And we're not technically on the East Coast, so hopefully most of that weather will pass us by.
Exactly. Apparently this is the storm of the century, according to the news. They're so dramatic. My name is Talia. I'm also known as Franciscan Gypsy on Ravelry and on Plurk.
I'm Marlecia, and I am also known as Lady Furnico on Lady Furnico on Ravelry and Plurk.
Oh, and let us know if you can't hear us. We have a tendency, to speak a little low. My voice has come back, so I'm not speaking as low as I was, but Mom tends to speak low.
I'm a soft talker. Soft talker.
Sorry. Anyway, if you are a first-time viewer, welcome. Hello. This is a podcast that is hopefully welcoming not only to knitters and crocheters, but also people who take part in other art forms like drawing and writing and sewing.
All kinds of stuff.
All kinds of stuff. We don't sew, but that doesn't mean you can't.
I barely sew to put my toys together.
Yes. So, that being said, welcome to what is currently known as Nurses Needles Podcast. She's not a nurse, so we are looking to change it. If you're a first-time viewer, when this podcast started, it was just me. It was a, hey, let's see if anyone would come by and see it kind of thing. And now, since we are, at 58 members, pretty good. We're a nice little group. I figure it's about time we have something that reflects both of us. Anywho, if you are one of our consistent viewers, it's lovely to see you as always. I hope you have your knitting and crocheting at hand or whatever craft you feel like working. I know Sun Country, you have a ton of different crafts you do. So
yes.
Whatever one you're currently working. And spinners as well. I always forget the spinners.
And dyers.
And dyers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all of you peoples. Anyway, to the knitting. I'm actually fairly awake today considering the fact that I worked last night. Which is kind of rare and odd, and I'm caught on something. Anyway, the first project I want to talk about is Yeep.
It's a yeep.
It's a yeep. In my chic
bag. A yeep in your chic bag?
It is the Legolas pattern. The pattern is actually called Vivian by Usana Teague. I've actually been in contact, not with Usana Teague, but with someone else who's working the pattern. Her name's Chantilly 4. I think it's Chantilly 4. Chantilly 5?
I don't know.
It's Chantilly something.
Chantilly lace?
No, Chantilly and what's Chantilly lace? I know
it's a song.
Is it?
Yeah.
Really?
Chantilly lace and pretty face, ponytail hanging down, wiggle and walk and a giggle and talk. Never mind.
I've never heard that song.
It's even before my time, so.
Who did it?
I don't know. That's Grandpa.
I've never heard that song. I think he made it up. Okay. I'm sorry, Chinchilli 4 or 5.
I'm not. I think she's cute, whoever she is.
Anyway, we've been talking back and forth about the Vivian pattern. She had a question, but she basically figured it out on her own without needing my help. And we've been talking about her progress, and she's like eons ahead of me now. I'm on row 50 something in the back, and she's on row 89 or something like that. She'll be finished eons before I even get there.
You might be asking her for help.
I told her that. I'm like, I'm probably going to be asking you at some point. I actually should invite her to the group.
You should.
But she does, she's like, some country that she does the dresses and stuff for like the dolls.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know if she makes toys. To ask. Anyway.
Well, we're not just a toy group.
No, we're not just a toy group. Anyway. Distraction. I am working the Vivian pattern by Asana Teague. I am working it for me in the size 36 using US 9 Nip Picks interchangeable circulars with a 32-inch cable. I'm actually kind of come like full circle with my needles. I like the wood needles, but I actually kind of like the metal ones as well. I never thought I'd say that. So, it's on my I want list for Christmas to have metal Nip Picks needles as well. I still am in love with Nip Picks, so I love the cable.
They're good needles. I love
Yes.
Nip Picks needles.
Knicks.
Knicks.
I'd love to try signatures, but they're too expensive.
Yeah.
I'd love to try them now.
Sharp and pointy.
Well, it's not just sharp and pointy. I like the fact that their cable apparently swivels.
That's what I understand, but not all of them. I was listening to Karen from Beyond the Twist.
Around the twist.
And she was saying that the smaller sizes
Well, the soft ones, yeah.
Because they can't put whatever the mechanism is in the base to make it swivel.
Yeah. But anywho, for the Vivian pattern, which is what I'm talking about, in spite of all the distractions, I'm using Stonehenge Fiber Mill Shepherd's Wool in the Blue Spruce colorway. For this pattern, you need to know how to cast on, to knit, to purl, to work seed stitch, to cable 4 back, to cable 4 front, to make 1 left, to purl 2 or 3 together, to purl front and back, pass slip stitch over, to slip slip knit, to slip 2 together, to twist 3 or 4 back, twist 3 or 4 front, to knit 2 together, and how to work from a chart. You also need to have a cable, cable needles and a zipper. I don't have my zipper yet. I'm waiting until I'm done.
So you can measure the right size?
I had the right size. The zipper fits. It's just I didn't have the right kind of zipper.
You didn't have
No, I had the right size. I did have the right size. Look, it fits.
It doesn't go all the way down.
Yes, it does. It's right here. Look, see? The problem was that it didn't fit. The problem was that
it
doesn't
zipper.
open.
Yeah, it's not a full zipper.
It's a zipper for a pullover. I'm not sure why you would have a zipper for a pullover that was that long, but...
Well, maybe it was for a big person. A bigger person. A man.
His chest was down here?
Well, there are some... Look at Bill. He's 6'7" or something, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I'd like to see Bill wear something with a red zipper. I think
his wife would like to see him wear something with a red zipper.
I don't see Poor that Bill. Happening.
It's not fair to talk about him. He doesn't know we're talking about him.
It's someone I work with. He's a nurse.
He goes to our church. He's very
He's
sweet.
like, oh gosh, he has to be almost 7 foot.
Yeah, he's a tall guy.
He's a big guy.
Big tall guy, yeah. Really nice guy.
Really nice, but he's a big guy. Anyway,
so that might work for him.
Yes. I mean, I guess there's the ones where you just, I guess you could end your knitting here and just have the zipper all the way down there. What's the point of having such a long zipper? I don't know.
You're digressing.
You need a zipper for the Vivian pattern, in case you missed that point. And
a little goofy today.
There is errata available for the pattern. You have to really pay attention to the pattern. And I've written notes on my pattern page about things that she doesn't mention in her pattern, like where to do your decreasing, if in case that's not clear, because it's not overly clear in the pattern. And where to what to do when you reach a certain row count for your cables from one of the charts. I wrote that uh, in my
notes,
project notes as well. So, yeah, if you have questions about, check out my project notes or contact me. I like contacting people who are working the same pattern I am. It's cool. But yeah, you probably actually want to see my progress. I only probably worked a couple rows. I was talking to Chantilly 4 or 5. Got me going, oh man, I need to work on this. I need to try to catch up with her. And I'm not catching up with her. I'm on, like, row. What row am I on? I'm on row 55. It's in my Knitting's My Bag, knitting sheep bag. It's a medium. And look, this is my.
That's adorable. Green Lantern.
It's Green Lantern. This is where I keep my notions. So I have like scissors and stuff.
That means my bag too? Huh? That's not name's my bag, is it?
No, it was just a random Etsy bag. I was looking for superhero bags for my notions. So I was like, oh, I don't necessarily have to get these expensive notion bags. I can just get little coin purses.
I need to pick up some of those because I like to have one for each bag. My husband laughs at me, but I want to have one for each bag.
So let me stick him back in there.
Like, how many bags do you need? I said, one for each
20
project.
million.
He's like, well, how many projects do you have? I said, you really don't want to know.
It's funny, I bring my knitting to work and people are like, you're not finished with that yet? Or did you start something new? And I'm like, you don't understand. I have 2 sweaters, 2 toys, 2 shawls,
A partridge in a pear tree.
and a sock going, at least. So, I'm constantly working something different. So, it's going to be kind of inside outy, and the cables are going to not show up very well here. But it's not much change from when you saw it last time. It's very dark right now, so you can't see it.
It's got a really, really pretty cable to it.
It's just very dark in here. We're upstairs in her room. Let's see.
Because my husband's playing Halo downstairs. I think he's playing Halo.
He's playing Halo 3. Yeah. He's getting killed. That's what happens when he doesn't play with me. I saved his life.
Why he shoots you?
Yes, I know. It's really sad. He needs to stop shooting me.
Very violent game.
It's very nasty. It's very mean. He shoots me.
Yeah, all that aggression.
I thought I threw a bomb at him.
Yes.
It was an accident. I didn't kill him.
It was.
I didn't kill him.
Sure it was. Psychiatrist probably had a field day with that.
Yep. But he killed me first.
Vengeance.
And he didn't die. He just got a little freaked out. Anyway.
I'm not going to say it again since we said it last podcast.
I don't think we did.
Yes, we did.
Did we?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, yeah, I see it. Anyway.
Of course.
Next project is the Sedna shawl, which on my project page I'm calling the Nightwing shawl. It's by Mary Lena Lynx. I'm working for me using US4 Knit Picks interchangeable circulars with a 40-inch cable. You're going to see a pattern. All my projects are on Knit Picks needles. I'm using No Makers 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon yarn in the Nightwing colorway. And I will be, when I get to the crocheted part of the pattern, I'll be using Spring Tree Rose, 80% superwash merino, 10% nylon, 10% cashmere in, I think it's called Jenny Linsky.
I think that's right. Black one.
It's a lovely black yarn. For this pattern, for the knitted section, you need to know how to knit, to purl, to yarn over. For the crocheted part, you need to know how to chain, single crochet, slip stitch, double crochet, and do combined double crochet. It's a really nice pattern where it's like a typical batwing shawl, and then you have a crocheted edging. Well, I'm actually showing the edging in the wrong area. That's top. Edging. There. So, shawl, edging.
Very good.
And I only work on this at work. Where's my bag? Because that's the only time I work on it. And Bill was a brat at work. He was asking about someone's heart rate when I was counting because we only had a a census of 10 patients by the end of the night. We started out with 8. So we really weren't that busy, which was nice. So I was sitting knitting, looking at the telemonitors because I'm a tele freak. That's my background. I'm cardiac. And he was asking me about someone's heart rate, so I told him the heart rate, and I started counting, and he started naming off a bunch of numbers. So, what was the heart rate again? Was it this? I'm like, yes, no, darn it, I lost my count. So I start counting again. Are you sure it wasn't like 80s and 90s, or was it 60s to 70s? I'm just like, I have sharp objects. I decided to stop counting at that point because then I'm sure our male aide would have jumped in on it too because he thinks that kind of thing's funny. Guys. Anyway, hold on. There we go. So let me detach that. You're not going to see it in its fullness, but
you still have it on around the.
Yeah, because I was in the middle of the row when I finished that work.
Pretty.
I mean, you're not seeing the full length. I started when I probably used about 200 yards of yarn right now because I took the 400 yards, 400 plus yard skein from No Makers and put it into 2 cakes. So I finished the first cake and I've added the second cake now. So that I just added that before I had to start getting back to work.
It's very pretty.
I'm actually happy now because it feels like I'm making progress. For a while there, it didn't.
All she did was complain. Not going anywhere.
It didn't feel like it was going anywhere. It was annoying. So what I do?
She sounded just like that too.
What I do is, when it's not busy, when I'm checking to see if anyone needs any help, I'll clip this around my phone that I wear attached to my hip, and I'll walk around knitting. Because it's a very useful walking and knitting bag. And this is put out by Cloverbird?
I think it's Cloverbird, isn't it?
Yes, it's Cloverbird. And it's by Batman.
It's the 60s Batman bag.
Yes, it is. Although it's not like the 60s cartoon.
No.
It's 60s comic. Anyway, that's Nightwing. The next project I want to talk about is the Simple Spidey Socks. That's what I call them. It's actually the Simple Skip sock pattern. You probably know it better as the Simple Skype sock pattern because everyone mispronounces that. SKYP equals skip, not Skype. Skype is SKYPE. It's simple grammar. Not grammar. It's phonetics. Phonetics.
I know I taught you better than that.
I hated phonics in school.
You hated everything.
No, I didn't.
You used to read books and think I wasn't aware of it.
It was fun. Yeah, you weren't aware of it.
I didn't care as long as you had your work done.
I used to put like my Murder, She Wrote and other books in the pages of my school books. So when my mom walked by, I was homeschooled. So when my mom walked by, it would look like I was just studying when I was actually reading my murder mysteries.
She thinks she's original and smart and all that.
At least I wasn't doing comic books. I was reading murder mysteries. So much better, right?
Yes. Yes, so much better.
It was either Agatha Christie or I was in a really big Murder, She Wrote phase for a while. But anyhow.
Murder, She Wrote or?
No, Murder, She Wrote. Yeah, I had
I remember.
a set. Although my Agatha Christie's were better.
Well, Murder, She Wrote's a TV thing. So.
Yeah. But I had to finish the series because I had to. Anyway, so I finished my row. What was I talking about? The Simple Spidey Socks. Because we were talking about phonics and that completely moved us elsewhere. So, the Simple Skip Socks are by Adrian Koo. I'm making them for me on US2 Knitpicks DPNs. And I'm using the Desert Vista Dye Works yarn in I Could Have Been a Superhero colorway. It's got a little bit of sparkle. My only beef with it is that the sparkles aren't, it's not like a sparkly thread. It's like sparkly little bits everywhere. So I think after 1 or 2 washings, the sparkles are going to come out.
I guess we'll find out pretty soon.
Yeah, I need to finish the sock.
Just
I've got
the sock?
well, socks.
Do you have an HO?
No, I don't have a hoe. I need to get a hoe. Make a hoe.
A ho?
A hoe.
Is that what two are? Ho-hos?
No.
Well, if one is a ho, then two is a ho-ho.
No.
I like ho-hos. They're chocolatey.
Have stuff in the center.
Yeah. Ho-hos.
So, anyway, no, they aren't ho-hos, Mom.
I like them.
For this pattern, you need to know how to cast on, to knit, to purl, to knit two together, to purl two together, to follow directions, do the skip stitch, which is slipping one, knitting one, slipping over. It'll make sense when you look at the pattern. It's a free pattern, by the way, which is awesome. Best price ever. And you also need to know how to slip stitch, slip knit, yarn over, and Kitchener. And that is in my No Makers bag put out by Tangerine 8 Designs. The thing I like about this bag, you can attach this to your belt and walk around knitting, which is awesomeness.
You can also use it as a guide for your yarn.
I never use it as a guide for my yarn. I use it to clip to my belt.
Well, yeah, because you walk around a lot with it.
So, it's not much farther than you saw last week. I have to do it until I've got a long foot. That's why, but I do think that the measurement works. I've got a thin foot, but I've got a long foot. So, when they told me to measure my foot, I instead of going a size up for my measurement, I went a size down for my measurement. Because I don't like loose socks. I'm hoping it won't be too tight. But I hate loose socks. So, really pretty.
Bright.
It is bright. Someone asked me if I was doing Christmas knitting when I brought this to work.
It's not quite the right color for Christmas.
Yeah, I was like, Jim, it's got blue. We actually have quite a few male nurses. Those are the only ones who seem to ask me the most about my knitting. Although Kathy said that Tara wants me to teach her how to knit. But yeah.
You're gonna show her YouTube like you showed me.
That's what I'm like. I'm not a very good teacher. My thought process is go to YouTube because that's how I learned. No, people don't believe I learned from YouTube. So there we go. I mean, for a short person's foot, this would be almost there because I've got a long foot. I've got a size 9.5, size 10 shoe size. Yeah, I'm a big foot. It's gonna be a little while longer. So I need to make sure that I don't get what's it, second sock syndrome? SSS. I need to make sure I don't get SSS. My problem is not so much second sock syndrome. My problem is my first love is making sweaters. So when I'm making sweaters, like everything else goes to the side. I'll get distracted by something else for a while, but then sweaters get the attention again. Because I love sweaters. It makes me happy. And toys are pretty bad too because they're instant gratification. Anyway, that is the sock. Simple Spidey sock. I did work on my Purple People Eater. I wasn't original with my name. I just called it Purple People Eater. And it's a Purple People Eater Amigurumi pattern by Stacy Trock.
She's awesome.
Yes, she is. And her website, she was saying that one of her goals is that you don't have to have a whole lot of crochet skills to do it.
Yeah. She's really good because you feel like you've accomplished something, which you have, but you don't have to have a huge amount of skills. I'm not saying that you won't be challenged, but she
aims it for the beginner.
Mm-hmm.
So that even a beginner can do her patterns. That's her goal. Yeah. And she does a good job with it.
Yes. She's excellent.
So it is the Amigurumi Purple People pattern by Stacy Trock. I should probably slow that down. I tend to stumble over my words and speak quickly. Amigurumi Purple People Eater by Stacy Trock.
I can't wait to see
There we go.
That'll be fun.
I'm making it for me. I'm using a size 8 Knit Picks Harmony Wood crochet hook. Using Hobby Lobby's I Love This Yarn Neons. And I'm using the purple neon colorway and the fuchsia neon colorway. When I get to the eye, I'll be using Hobby Lobby, I love this yarn, solids in black and white colorways. This is a paid for pattern. I can't remember what I paid for because I think it was on sale when I got it.
Yeah, she had that sale. That's when I got it too.
Yeah.
It's like 40% off at that time.
So I honestly can't remember what I paid for.
I think it's a $5 pattern. I think. Usually her patterns run between $4 and $6.
Yeah, I can't remember. It is in, I think this is a Funtific bag. It was one of the first bags, nice bags I got.
Yeah, she's really good with her bags.
It's got this like, not canvas, corduroy bottom. And I love red, so obviously. I mean, my sweater. I mean, seriously. Red, yellow, orange.
We're seeing
red, yellow,
pattern
orange.
here.
So, let me untie this so you can see. Oh, I didn't go through the stitches, did I?
Nope.
Basically, you single crochet. There might be some decreases in there. There are some decreases in there.
In the round.
Yeah,
right.
In the round. You single crochet in the round. Oh, this might be a little more advanced in some of her patterns because you do have to strand. And I'll show you what I mean by that.
And she tends to crochet she tends to have you crochet in the back loops. You don't have to.
Yeah.
But it makes it easier when you're piecing things together.
And I tend to use the magic ring instead, although she does the sloppy slip stitch, and she'll tell you how to do that. I prefer the magic ring. And so I do all the time for when I'm making toys. So, I have the body done, the main part of the body done. The fuchsia is not showing up really well. Actually, the color quality in here is really bad.
Yeah, it's not showing up at all. This is very, very subdued.
This is very vibrant in reality.
Yeah, on the screen it's very subdued.
In reality, this is like this bright purple and this bright fuchsia.
Yeah. Very bright.
I'm going to show you the stranding by turning it inside out. And this is what I mean by the stranding. It looks like when you do color work with knitting.
The good thing about it is on the inside you don't have to worry about it too much.
Exactly, you just put the stuffing in. So there's.
And if you look at her, I don't know if it'll show up on the computer monitor, but you can see what happens when you do the back loops only. You get these circle lines, which allows you to line up
your eyes,
your limbs, and things like that. So if you can't eyeball it, you know you're even. If you want to be even, you know, if you're not doing something that doesn't matter, you don't care.
So this is the body, and I started the first little leg. So
my husband's making me shelves. He's gonna have to make more with all the toys.
Mine live in my bed.
Well, my husband's saying that our bed is getting crowded. And
with the one,
and I'm going to be making a big, huge one later on to build my stash, and that's going to go on the bed too.
I'm sure he feels so lucky.
Yes.
Well, Pippin's not on the bed right now. He's on the chair.
He's over there because I made the bed and I forgot to put him on the bed.
He feels left out.
I was rushing.
Okay. The last one. There should be two. I must have skipped one. Oh yes, I did. It's the one that you've been seeing me work on. It's the Heavenly Sapphire. That's what I'm calling it. Anyway, it's actually the twin set sweater and cardigan pattern by Claire Montgomery from the Knitting Vintage book. Woo! There we go. And I'm making it for Mom because I promised her I'd make her a twin set at some point. And I'm using Knit Picks Indian Treasure in the Sapphire Heather colorway. I first picked up this colorway when I was doing my grandmother's sweater. It was just to do a small section of color work. And I was like, I love this yarn. I love this color. I think I'll work this. So even though that I'm using US 3s right now, I'm not too depressed that it's taking a long time because it's a nice yarn to work with. It's soft.
And in case you can't tell, it is my color, my favorite color. Yeah. I love blue.
You can't see the blue very well on the screen.
Yes, you can't. It's
a rich blue.
It's about the same color as this. I don't know if you can tell. It's got a little more greenish, bluish. It's close.
Yeah. It's very much of a sapphire color.
Very pretty. I love it.
You need to know how to cast on, to knit, to purl. At least those basic stitches. I'm just in the ribbing section, so I don't know too much more. And I didn't read the pattern through before I did it. I know that I have to sew the pieces together. It's not done in a round or anything, which is different. I've done it for sweaters before, but I've been working most of my sweaters in a round lately that I forgot that there was the sewing option. So I'm not very far, but I am using US 3, so I'll be switching to US 5s when I'm done with the ribbing.
I wish we had better color quality here.
I know.
That's such a pretty color. It's just gorgeous.
It's in the ribbing section. Wow, this color quality sucks.
It's very pretty, and I really wish the color quality was better.
I don't think that's gonna make any difference, Mom. Yeah, it's not gonna make any difference. It's just the color quality of your stuff.
It's the lighting in here.
We're going to find another place to podcast when they change my schedule when they podcast on Sunday all the time. Maybe we'll podcast in my room.
Yeah, maybe if the lighting's good.
Because I have all those lamps.
We may have to do it at a different time or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Because they're changing my schedule at work. I usually work Saturday, Sunday as my weekends. And starting December, they've switched me to Friday, Saturday. So I'm going to have to work Mondays all the time if I want to not work 3 12s in a row.
So we don't know if we'll be doing Sundays or Wednesdays, although you work a lot of Wednesdays.
Yeah,
so.
I think Sundays would be best because it would be more consistent. So, I don't know. We'll see. Well, see when we get there. I mean, my podcasting schedule tends to be flexible anyway because my work schedule is flexible. So.
We try to get it in no more than 10 days.
Yeah. I'd rather go closer together than farther together.
Farther apart?
Yes. Anyway, that was the Heavenly Sapphire sweater. So, you drop it. The last one, I feel like I've actually made quite a bit of progress on this last one. Last one's quite fun. I'm calling it Basque, even though my dad says it looks like Alf. It does not look like Alf. He's cute.
What you call him Alf?
No, he's Basque. It's Patty the Pillow Pony by Allison Cleaver. Making it for me. It's a stash buster. Using US 8 Knitpicks interchangeable circulars. I'm using a 40-inch cable. I'm using yarn beads and it's alpaca with 85% acrylic, 15% alpaca in Arabesque colorway. And you know, I would have hated crocheting with it, and I would have hated doing it for a sweater, but I'm loving using it in the toy. The color gradations are gorgeous. And even though it's splitty, it's not too annoyingly so when you use a large needle size. And I'm using US 8s. I would have killed it using the US 3s. I would have murdered it. I probably would have had to go down a needle size actually. But for this pattern, you need to know how to do Judy's Magic Cast On, so that makes it intermediate because that's a new skill you might not know. Or a Turkish Cast On. You need to know how to knit, to purl, to cable 4 front, to cable 6 front, to knit 2 together, to knit 3 together, to make 1 left, to slip stitch, to slip slip knit, and to wrap and turn and Kitchener. With the needle size she was using, it was like a size 6. It came out to be 13 inches high and 14 inches long. Mine will probably end up bigger because I'm using US 8s.
They're huge.
Yes, but that means it'll use up at least a little bit of yarn. I'm keeping it in my Batgirl bag.
And that is by Pod Baloo.
Pod Baloo, yeah, just like Pod Baloo also did my Nightwing bag. This was a new design for it. It was a custom design. Because there were no Nightwing bags out there. Now she is selling them. If you are a huge Nightwing fan like I am. Let's see, he's not showing up. There we go. So there's Mr. Grayson in all his glory. Anyway, back to Barbara's bag.
Barbara's bag.
Barbara's bag, yes. Babs.
She hates when it's so bad.
Well, she should take it up with him.
I think she has.
I'm sure she has. Probably when they were kids more. Anyway, sorry, geeking out. the character on this bag is involved with the character on this bag. So, yes. Anyway.
It's so sad that we know this.
I have finished. Come here.
Why did you change?
I didn't do it on purpose.
Oh, yeah. We were looking at Robin and
Kid Flash.
Kid Flash.
Wally before he became.
All of a sudden, we became superheroes of the male gender.
Let's see. Hold on. I'm all tangled.
Let's see that. You tangled between the two of them?
Yeah, I'm tangled between the two of them. It's my tied off ends. There's one. Okay. So, leg 1 and leg 2. And you can't see the beautiful color gradations because it's the light stuff. But
you can barely
see the cables.
Cables,
even though
gorgeous.
The cables show up really nicely in real life. Hopefully next week the lighting will be better and you'll be able to see it better. And I started. Leg number 3. So after I finish this leg and one more leg, I get to go into the body. I think she has me do the body now. This is a paid-for pattern. I can't remember how much I paid for it, but it was big, which is the whole reason why I did it, because I needed to eat up some yarn. Because I have a sweater's worth of this yarn, and I was like, oh yeah, I don't want to actually make a sweater out of this because it's itchy and scratchy. And
she says, yeah, Mom, I need more yarn. So I picked up some yarn for her, and she decides that it's not the best thing for the sweater. And
it's okay. I'm going to have an army of arabesque colored toys.
Some of them you may give away.
Yes. Yeah. I'll just take over the world with arabesque yarn toys. Anyway, that's my whips.
Well, you're lucky. I don't have very many whips. I'm not going to really go into the ones I'm not working on because I'm not working on them. They are just sitting there waiting for me because I've been a little bit monogamous with Christmas gifts and things that have to be done. So I will just go right into what I am working on. I am still working on the half log cabin ombre blanket by Pearl Soho, which is my Nicole blanket. I have not done a whole lot on it. I did a little. It's in my Vera Bradley bag because it's the only bag big enough right now to fit it, even though I'm not anywhere near finished.
Now, I have a coworker who's working a similar log cabin blanket, and she's going to be putting a cloth back to it because she used to do a lot of
quilting.
Thank you. I'm having difficulty pulling together words.
Especially quilting because she had trouble with that earlier today too.
So I brought that idea up to her. This her, not my coworker. Her. And maybe she'll end up putting it back too, because she doesn't like the picked up stitches how they look in the back. Yeah. But Mom, the good thing is that Jerry's picked up stitches look the same way, so it's not just you.
Yes, I really don't like the way it looks that way, and I don't like the idea that I can't use my blanket on both sides. It does look nice on the front. Let's see here. You can see that there's not any real issue with that. So I'm happy with that. I don't know if I'm going to get through all 9 colors, or I might not do all the whole ball. And I haven't decided if maybe I'm going to do a straight knit stitch or even a crochet stitch and maybe seam the back together that way instead of putting cloth. I haven't decided. But having Talia talk to me about what her coworker was doing made me think about different options because I don't want that showing. And I keep losing my tip protectors, point protectors.
Well, you might have to do what I have to do with my metal one to get the single and push them on there.
Yeah, I might have to do that. Anyway, to do that, to do the half log cabin.
Half log camera, huh?
Yes, the camera. My half log cabin ombre blanket by Pearl Soho, you have to know how to cast on, and you have to know how to knit, and you have to know how to pick up stitches change colors, pick up stitches, and basically that's it. I'm using 10.5 inch high fixed circulars on a 32-inch cord.
Cable.
Yes, cable cord. I'm sorry. Was it Sun Country who was?
No, it wasn't. It was.
Was it with buttons? No.
No, it was before I even joined.
I forget who it was. She was so cute. She's from Australia. And if you're listening, we say thank you. Hi. I forgot her name because I haven't heard from her in a while. She was sweet because she told Ty she kept calling it cords instead of cables. No, you kept calling it wires. That's what you call it. Yeah. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. It's a very simple pattern. I'm thankful to Nicole for letting me know about it. It's my pattern when I don't want to think too much, and it's sitting there. Everything else has gone by the wayside while I try to finish what I'm doing now that I've been working on while we're doing the podcast. I needed to make a pillow to go, a pillow cover for a pillow form to go with my parents' Christmas blanket I'm giving them for Christmas. Well, it was originally an anniversary. If you go to my project page, it says anniversary gift, but it's actually going to be their Christmas gift. So I looked through a bunch of patterns. I didn't like any of them. Some of them required me to really look into how to do certain stitches, and I just don't have the time right now, so I'm winging it. Basically, this is for a 16-inch square pillow form, and basically,
And we just happened to find in the basement.
Yeah, when Talia went stash diving in my stuff, she found my pillow forms. Basically, what this is a single crochet. Okay, you need to know how to chain. I can't think of my words. You need to chain. You need to be able to single crochet both in the front loops and in the center loops. Stop that. I'll be forced to hurt you. Anyway, I have a daughter for sale. I'll put her up on Etsy. She's cheap. Anyway, but so you need to single crochet both in the back loops and in the whole, using both loops. You also need to know how to double crochet, and there are parts where you need to do a triple crochet. I was playing around with the stitches a little bit. I don't know if you can be able to see the pattern or not. It's got kind of a ridged effect, and then I got bored, so I started playing with it, and there's like a little bobble kind of thing, and I can't tell if you can see it.
You can see it a little bit.
It's kind of right here. There's a little bobble. Another one right here. And I just wanted to kind of break it up a little bit. This is the front of the pillow. And I'm almost finished with the first side. The front of the pillow obviously is green. The back of the pillow is going to be that ecru that I was using. I think it's called ecru that I was using for the Pearl Soho blanket. Well, I guess it's a little dark. Yes. Yeah, it's the same color as what I'm using right now. It's actually a little bit darker than I thought. So this is what I'm using on the back. I haven't quite decided if I'm going to use a little bit of pink when I do the seaming. It depends if the seaming is going to be on the outside or the inside, because the blanket I've made has the off-white, the pink, and the green. So I haven't decided if my seaming will have some pink in it. And the hook I'm using for this is a J hook. And that is basically, it's also pretty mindless. I mean, I'm getting to the point now where once I finish with this pattern side, the back side is just going to be either all single crochet or all double crochet or maybe half double crochet. I haven't decided.
You will pull your brains out through your ears if you have to do all single crochet.
Yeah, I know. That's why I varied it. So it's probably going to be, it's going to have some kind of, it might be half double crochet or something like that. I just want to make sure that the pillow doesn't show too much through it. At least with the lighter color, it won't be as obvious. So that's basically what I'm working on right now. Everything else is, it's not hibernating, it's just on temporary hiatus right now.
Okay, so I have no FOs.
Neither do I.
Okay. Next on the needles. I still want to do the Southerton at some point. I have all my yarn for the Southerton. I'm sitting there. It's in my room on my shelves, and I pet it every once in a while. It's beautiful. It's garnet colored. I want to do a Master Chief Amigurumi. I want to work the Katniss socks, and I want to make a couple Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So,
Okay. Let me just mark myself here.
at least Donnie and Mikey, if not all four.
Yeah, I want to make. I might as well start with that one since she ended with it. I'm also wanting to make the Mutant Ninja Turtles, at least Raphael and Leonardo.
Yeah.
Poor Splinter. Nobody wants to make
He's not a turtle.
He's not a turtle. He's a rat. I may have to make him just because I feel that. But anyway, and I may make all 4 turtles as well. Just have to wait and see. We've had a really cute turtle pattern for that.
I can't remember who does it. We didn't take down the pattern.
I didn't take down who did it. I did buy it, but I'll talk about that right now. I need to finish up this pillow, and I need to finish up my the plum pudding. That's what I call it. Plum pudding stool for my other daughter for Christmas. I need to finish that, and then like I said, I want to start the turtles, and I would like to maybe do another turkey. I want to thank everybody for the compliments they've given me on my little turkey. He's cute, and I love him, and I'm glad you like him too. I was thinking about making another one to share the table with him. And I wanted to do the Melvin the Misunderstood Monster by Carissa Cole, but I'm not sure when because Stacey Trock's Mystery Cal is going to be starting pretty soon, and I do want to do that. And I need to get started on the chevron lace cardigan by Milobo. Like I said, the Cal for that is probably going to be long gone by the time I get started, but and then of course more toys. I want to do the Purple People Eater. I mentioned the turtles and the turkey, and I'd like to start the Sedna shawl. So I've got a lot of things that are waiting for me to get started.
Stash enhancement. I actually don't have any stash enhancement.
Just the turtle pattern.
Yeah, just turtle pattern.
Yeah,
but no real stash enhancement.
I don't have much in the way of stash enhancement either. I picked up an Etsy class because I hadn't bought anything in a long time, and I got one of those nice little notices that says, "Oh, hey, we miss you. You haven't bought anything in a while. You can get any class you want for $19.99."
I've been waiting for the mittens class. It's on sale for her, but it's not on sale for me.
And I couldn't give it to her, but I did get not their toe-up socks, not their cuff-down socks, but their general how to knit a sock. I got that, and they had a little addendum to it where I could get yarn for $6.99 or $49 or something like that. Some sock yarn. I don't think it's going to be enough for the pattern. In fact, I know it's not going to be enough for the pattern, but I'll find something to do with it. I'll either do a shorty sock like the one Taya started out with, or I'll make a toy out of it or something because it's got 390 yards, but it's in mulberry, and I went and looked it up, and it's so pretty.
I think you should make a shorty sock.
I like shorty socks.
Well, make me a shorty sock.
I don't want to.
I don't love fine. You much to be that way about it.
I picked up mulberry yarn for me.
Be that way about it. Well, do your heel a different color then.
I might do that. We'll figure it out. She may get something anyway. We'll see. So I picked up that, and then of course the turtles. So and I haven't gotten the yarn yet, so technically I can't really call it stash enhancements. When it comes in, I'll show it to you. And that's about it.
Okay. Obsessions. Toy Long's still going on. It goes to December 15th. It's for knit or crochet toys. They could be started in August, but they can't be finished before September 1st. You can put in as many entries as you want. You put one picture per entry in the pictures only thread. I don't care how much you put in the chatter thread. The chatter thread is fun. Even we can post in the chatter.
Yeah, we post on the chatter thread.
Winners will be drawn from the pictures only thread. Basically, this is an excuse for us to share and obtain new toy patterns. We're having a lot of fun with it in the group.
And we have so many nice people.
Such an amazing group.
It's a wonderful group.
And by group, if you're not on Ravelry, you should be on Ravelry. And it's Ravelry.com. It's a knitting crochet community. And we have a group called the Nurse of Needles Podcast Group. That group name will be changing when we change the podcast name, obviously. Anyway, it's a very nice group. We've got 58 members right now. We'd love to have you. Oh, and by the way, if you watch us, please give us an iTunes review, rating. That'd be nice too. Rate all your favorite podcasters.
Want to make sure that somebody's out there listening to us.
Yeah,
We're not talking to ourselves.
I mean, I know that we're being listened to, but it'd be nice to know if anyone else is listening to us. I don't know. So yeah, the prize one person can win.
Excuse me.
No, you can get 2 toy patterns of your choice, each no more than $10. And like I said, there'll be only one winner. If you are taking part in the Nurse and Needles Toy Along, please make sure to add the tag Toy Along 2012 to your project. Other obsessions, I am currently obsessed with the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles TV show on Nickelodeon, hence wanting to make the TMNT toy. And I am obsessed with Timothy Zahn's books. I found the rest of the collection on Kindle, and I am reading myself to sleep on. I'll wake up and my Kindle's flung somewhere on the bed. And finally, I'm starting to watch Doctor Who, starting with I guess it's 2005 season 1. It's the newest rendition of Doctor Who.
Incarnation.
There we go. Newest incarnation.
Yes, we are writers
of Doctor Who with season 1, and I'm 2 episodes away from it being done. Don't tell me anything if you are ahead of me, which you probably are. I'm not sure how I'll feel about switching to a new Doctor. I know they're going to start with another actor in season 2, but we'll see. I like the current Doctor Who. Anyway, that's for me for obsessions.
Obsessions. The Toy Along, the Stacey Talks Toys, Ending All of Our Patterns podcast. Stargate SG-1, and Brother Catfile Mysteries, which I've been watching when I do my physical therapy. I love Brother Catfile; he's awesome. I also like the Ninja Turtles. I think that's about it.
Okay, which leads on to writing. So it wasn't my turn to write for the shared story, but I got bitten by the writing bug, and I did a bonus scene for the shared story. It was 2,000 some words. It came out to about 5 pages.
So. That's awesome. I enjoyed it.
It was a little bonus for her. She woke up and she found it on her computer. And but woke up. I stay up all night long, so when we usually podcast. She's been up all day, but I've been only up since like 2:30, and I stay up until like 7 a.m. That's when I go to bed. I keep on a night shift schedule. If you watch Around the Twist, it's similar to what Karen from Around the Twist does. If you're a night shifter, consistent night shifter, it's just more convenient to live a night shift schedule, I find. So anyway, she'll find things like writing stuff on her computer when she wakes up.
Makes me happy.
But yes, that is it for writing. I don't have anything for artwork this week.
I did not get a whole lot of writing done. Nothing on the synopsis. It's been kind of crazy.
I think you got some done on the synopsis.
Not this week. A little last week, I think. But no, because we only had 4 days between podcasts this time around, and it's been kind of hectic with having to do things. And I did do about 500 words to the shared story, and I blocked out the rest. So I got a little writing done. I got some ideas with the bonus section gave me some ideas too. And I've been something I haven't done in a while is actually been thinking about it during the day. I used to, when I was writing all the time, I used to constantly have ideas going through my head and dialogues and things like that. I had that the last couple of days, which was really neat. But I only was able to write 500 words because I've got my husband home and he likes me to do things, go figure. My other daughter likes me to do things. I have no idea why. So, we do things and I don't get a chance to write all the time, plus making dinner and doing chores and all that kind of stuff, CCD, all that kind of stuff. So I did get 500, make a long story short, I did get $500. Boy, I wish. Buy more yarn. I got about 500 words written. There we go. Words written. Enunciate. To the shared story. I also did, I believe, another edit for the same girl I've been doing my edits for. I was lucky she had, thankfully, not a serious surgery. I wish she didn't have to have it. She had sinus surgery, so she was not able to write, so I was able to get caught up with her. And I hope she's feeling better. Hopefully she'll be giving me something again soon. But I did get a break after I finished the edits for her. So I'm not unhappy with the writing this time around. Although I didn't get a lot done, I did get some, so I was happy about that.
And actually, I think that's about it. I thought it was going to be a short podcast, but we got so distracted that it ended up being about our normal.
Really?
So, okay. Yeah, because we got distracted, dude. My section took almost the whole podcast.
I know.
Meow.
You talk a lot.
Meow. Meow.
Squirrels.
Meow. Anyway, so that's all, folks. Okay. So thank you for watching. Please stop by our Ravelry group. Say hi to us on Plurk. Befriend us on Ravelry. We like friends.
Yes, we do. We like friends.
So thank you for watching once again, and happy
knitting and crocheting.
Bye-bye.
God bless. Bye-bye.